Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to remind myself and all of you to thank Allah SWT. Because of Him, we are hopefully in the truly our best condition today. In this occasion, I will also introduce myself. My name is Bustan. I'd like to present and explain you about translation. In this occasion, actually it is the 5th meeting because you as my student have already got the 4 previous lectures from me before. These 4 lectures are the theories about translation, how you can translate from short language into target language. And this 5th meeting, we have figurative meaning. Okay, figurative meaning is actually commonly used in literary works. But in fact, if you are linguist, you also sometimes use this case. Let's go to the next slide. There are 4 kinds of figurative meaning will be discussed here. I hope you are all be critical because I wrote 4, but in fact there are 5. The first one is euphemism. The second one is simile, the third one is metaphor, the fourth one is personification, and the last one is idiom. Let's see the metaphor and personification. These 2 figurative meaning are actually same. So in fact, the first one is euphemism, the second one is simile, and then the third is metaphor and personification, and the last one, number 4, is idiom. Let's check it out one by one. Euphemism is the use of words or expressions to replacement a rude expression. I will help you also translate in bahasa. Rude means kasar, expression is ekspresi. So sometimes when you use mati in bahasa Indonesia, and it sounds rude, of course. Rude means kasar. So it will be better if you use berulang. That is euphemism. There is also euphemism in English. Okay, I have some examples. The first one is his mother died 3 years ago. Died is rude. It will be better if you change died into passed away. His mother passed away 3 years ago. These 2 sentences same, but the second one is better if you use passed away. Sometimes we find it in literary works, but linguists also sometimes use it. Let's go to the next slide. The second one is simile. It is figurative word made of comparison to things or object. In Indonesia, simile is marked by bagaikan, seperti. Yeah, it is comparison, comparing something with others. But this one using words to compare one with other. So sometimes we can use like as if, or as though. Here is the first one. I will explain you the first simile. There are 2 simile. The first one is cliche simile. The example is he is as quick as lightning. It means in bahasa dia secepat kilat. Yeah. Commonly, simile can be translated lexically because the pattern of short language and target language are same, but there is also different aspect. Let's see the example number 3. As poor as a church mouse. It cannot be translated lexically because it has also different example in bahasa. As poor as a church mouse means miskin tikus gereja. It is not acceptable in bahasa Indonesia because maybe a church mouse is too low comparison. So you can use miskin sekali.
This is a demonstration of wirecast.
Okay. Not all simile, especially the first one, cliche simile, can be translated lexically. Let's go to the next slide. The second type of simile is creative simile. Beside those cliches, we might find many creative similes in the literary works, as I said before. For example, there are so many sentences here taken from Broken Wings, created by Khalil Gibran, of course. Here is the first example. My life was a coma, empty like that Adam in paradise. My life was coma, empty like that of Adam in paradise. It is also same with the previous one, but it is the creative one. If the first one, cliche simile, we cannot create it now because it is made by older literaries, but it is the different one because we can create it now. Creative simile. My life was a coma, empty like that of Adam in paradise. It is translated in bahasa about hidupku adalah sebuah koma, kosong, seperti Adam di surga. Let's go to the next slide. And then the third one is metaphor. It is like simile, but without any comparative mark. For example, you are my son. You are my son. There is no like, there is no as. So we compare something with others, a thing with other things, without like, without as. For example, you are my son. Kamu adalah matahariku. But sometimes it is not acceptable metaphor in target language into bahasa Indonesia. For example, you are my son is acceptable both in bahasa Indonesia and English because in fact the comparative things son has also same function both in Indonesia and in English. You are my son. Son in English is also the source of energy, and then in bahasa matahari is also the source of energy. You are my son. You are my son. You are my son is acceptable in both two language. But the second one, check it out. I am hanging on a thread. What is it? I am hanging on a thread. If you translate it lexically, it is saya tergantung di seutas tali. It is different metaphor in bahasa. In bahasa is not saya tergantung di seutas tali, but nasib saya di ujung tanduk. So you cannot translate lexically the second one. Let's go to the next slide.
This is a demonstration of wirecast.
The next one is personification. It is figurative, meaning giving the human natures to other inanimate things or object. Here is the interesting one for literaries. Here is the example. When love opened my eyes with its magic rays and touched my spirit for the first with its fiery fingers. It is quite difficult to translate because it is literary words in bahasa karya sastra. So sometimes karya sastra written ungrammatically. When love opened my eyes, ketika cinta membuka mata saya, and blah blah blah. You can read it by yourself. Okay, the next one, idiom. If I said the previous one is most interesting one, So this one is the most difficult one. I think maybe you have different opinion based on me. But
this is a demonstration of
in
Wirecast.
this figurative meaning has a different construction between the lexical written text and the meaning. Yeah, so the example for the first one, do not just take it for granted, study it first, speak later. In bahasa, jangan diterima seperti itu saja, pelajari dulu baru berkata kemudian. It is quite different between the idiom in English and then the equivalent of this idiom in bahasa Indonesia. And then let's go to the last one. Finally, I have to ask you to do an assignment. As you know, there are at least 3 or 4 examples in each figurative meaning. So what you have to do, just translate all of the example within this PowerPoint material and submit it on my email address. I hope you can do your assignment well. I hope you can improve your knowledge about figurative meaning, and I hope you can be better. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This is a demonstration.